Hello, I'm Ed, and I am going to talk while shaving. I had this idea a little while ago that it might be worthwhile to just, air my thoughts while shaving. It's a good amount of time to talk about something, and it gives me something else to be doing while I think about it. It sort of fills the dead space. Now, I am going to start, because I've got a lot of beard going on at the moment, by using the electrics. I don't know how well the sound's going to come through. At some point my flatmate may walk in and wonder what the hell I'm doing. The door's unlocked, so that could happen. So, I do kind of need a topic, and obviously I'm doing this on the Shave by Vlog channel, and currently all that's got on it is my sports commentary. And that sports commentary is not good, and it's not good for a reason. It's because I don't like sports. This is part of Lent. I do Lent every year, because Lent comes around every year. It's not a particularly religious thing. It's more an interesting challenge to do, because you gotta have hobbies, and that's one of them. I'll try and do something interesting for you. Now, the tricky bit this year has been trying to phrase it as an abstinence, because Lent should always be giving something up, and this time I've done it as giving up not watching sports. And it's important because I really dislike sports, of other organised sports. More than anything's team sports, really. Ones where you kind of win or lose. I'm all for individual sports. Exercise is a good thing, you get a lot of camaraderie going on, that kind of thing. But I never really believed in the whole team building efforts of team sports. Because the thing about team building is that to unite people, you're just giving them a common enemy. The whole enemy of my enemy is my friend. It doesn't actually unite people. It makes them want to beat the other side. Which means if you're not helping, you're not on the team. You're either with us or against us, as they say. I'm not a fan of that mentality. I've been watching it effectively by myself, all this sport that I've been watching. So I don't really get too much of that whole team thing. I have been watching it effectively for the love of the sport. It does make it that much more interesting. I'm not even slightly invested in any of these teams. I don't really understand who has rivalries, who's meant to be good, who's meant to be bad, or anything like that. Now I've got to be careful here. I do have one grey hair, which I don't want to get rid of, because it looks cool. There has been some interesting stuff in there. Still not more interesting than anything else I could have been doing with my weekend. However many hours there are in the week is how many hours of sports I watch. I've been rounding up. I feel sort of half-time and things like that make up for it. I think the real problem I have is the insistence of team sports at school. When I was at school, you were playing football, later on maybe some rugby, definitely playing cricket. When I was little, you get to play rounders, you get to play basketball and so on and so forth. It wasn't until really late that they really cared at all about doing anything else. And things like athletics, individual stuff, that was only ever really for the people who were very good at it, which is completely counterintuitive to me, or rather counterproductive. I never know when to stop sideburns, but those are the ones that actually build the camaraderie. Those are the ones that people help each other out with. If you're sprinting, if you're throwing a javelin, if you're doing a shot put, if you're doing a long jump, something like that, nobody cares who you're going to be. Sure, if you're on the team, then fine, you need to be good enough for the team. But if you're not on the team, it's not a problem. The only thing that matters is that you be better than yourself, that you improve on your own best, that you improve yourself physically and mentally and be better. Surely that is what sports are trying to achieve. That's what sports are there for, or at least that's what we want them to be there for, because team sports are very much, as I learned from an episode of Bones, that makes a lot of sense, preparation for war. It's all very hostile, it's all very belligerent. And that's just not something I think that we should be focusing on at schools, not one we could be focusing on, people teaching each other, learning from each other, helping each other out, being proud of each other's little achievements. I'm not saying that we want to be, the whole, everyone's a winner type thing, but at least make everyone feel that the effort that they're putting in is worthwhile, that they're actually achieving something. There's no need to say that they're the best in the world, but that they are improving is an important thing. Gosh, that's a mess. I must apologise for my shirtlessness. I must also apologise for my appearance in general. I find the best time to shave is before a shower, and that way you can get all the shave off you. I've never understood people that are able to shave whilst already dressed and clothed and so on. The proper best time to have a shower supposedly is to have a shave is in the shower itself, but obviously my shower's all the way over there. You can just about see the shower curtain if I'm on that camera. Yeah, that would mean that everything get very wet, or I just wouldn't be able to see my face, and it's important to see my face. Let's try and get this right. I need to strop. We use a strop because we are a hipster extraordinaire, as you can tell from all that beard. I have no idea what that camera's doing. I used to have what I consider a better razor, a cheap one that I got from Mankind. That's not to say that the cheap ones from Mankind are good. The second one I got from Mankind was terrible, completely blunt. So I think I just got very lucky with that one. This one I got from, I think his name's Lars Andreas from The Width Dog. It was like less than 20 quid because he just repurposes old, effectively random scrap razors that he finds, hones them, sharpens them and gets them good. Oh yeah. I've already got a hook on my end, well done me. And the theory was that that was going to be a better way of doing this. I found that it blunts a lot more easily than my cheap one from Mankind, or at least the good cheap one from Mankind. Now of course, this is not the best place to do it, so I wonder if I can hook it on here. Yes. I know when I've got a full place to do, I sometimes have to really strop halfway through. I'm trying to count whilst talking, but it's not really working. There's a specific amount, I always try and do 64 backs and forth in total. I have no idea how I'm doing. If anybody is watching, feel free to count for me. Or generally tell me I'm doing it wrong actually, because I have no idea if I'm doing it wrong. I just realised I have been flipping it wrong. Always flip on the spine, like so, because if you flip like I was doing over there, then you are just blunting it as you go along, and that's a very silly thing to do. Well, you can see me doing that, but anyway. Let's try and get, there we go, bits of hair. Wasn't amazing. Give it a try, see how it goes. Now, another part of Lent is that I am giving up popping spots, as I do every year, which means I do have some gnarly spots going on, which normally would have been pumped, but have not been. In the interest of full disclosure, now, a lot of you are going to be thinking, I say a lot of you, nobody's watching, but if anybody is watching, you're going to be thinking, oh no, the only reason you don't like sports is because you're no good at them. And this is true, I am no good at them. When I was at school, because it was team sports, so that's it. When I was doing athletics, I was doing ice skating, skiing, anything like that, wasn't a problem. Went, did athletics, did ice skating, did skiing, lots of fun. Everyone was happy, everyone learned to do things, it was all good. Everyone felt together, unified, we're part of a club that does these things. When it was team sports, then suddenly, oh, you've got to be as good as the rest of the team. So, because I'm no good at athletics, because I'm no good at exercise or anything like that, I ended up having to play sports with the year below, which for a 9-year-old, which is when that happened, was pretty demoralising, which is weird because you're 9 and you don't really understand what demoralising is. Seeing all of your friends going off to play football and then you're playing a football with people you don't really know because in the year below. Granted, you learn a lot about people in the other years and more camaraderie with the year below, but really, I mean, that's something that we should be developing anyway, is getting everyone to know everyone, not just the people in their own year, but that's entirely beside the point, because the important thing is that I feel really bad. I don't like feeling bad, and you shouldn't have to feel bad, you know. We shouldn't be punishing kids because they're not great at football. We should be giving them things that they can be doing that's going to want to make them play more, because obviously, even the year below, I wasn't amazing there either. So all I was doing was sort of doing the same dossing about, not really playing, that I'd been doing before. Except now with people I didn't really know. So that's not good. Look at the Beerloo. Come see. There you go, Beerloo. I'll start under here because it's the most important, but also the least noticeable if I mess it up kind of thing. I might be completely wrong about that, we'll soon find out. In case you're wondering why is he not using shaving foam, it's because you can't see what you're doing if you're using shaving foam. You can see where you've been, but that's kind of too late. You can only see where you're going to be if you have a beard. You don't want to get rid of. Now, I do want to get rid of this beard at some point, but no, it's not that point. Oh, that's not looking too bad. The story I always like to tell with regards to team sports is back when I thought I might be a lawyer one day, I and a friend of mine, my friend of the family, we met up with a barrister and our dads. Nice little evening meal, dinner if you will. I'm not sure if we actually had any food or if it was just sort of snacks and drinks. It's another thing I don't really do. And in that, it turned out that my friend of the family is obviously much better at this whole lawyering line than me. I don't think he actually became a lawyer, but anyway. We were saying about, oh, how we went to this school. And they said, oh, you know, I went to a rival rugby school. And they started talking about rugby. They talking about how great it is to have all that teamwork and be depending on each other and so on and so forth. And then, of course, they turned to me, do you play rugby? I say, no, I don't really play any team sports. I do climbing, and sure, I need to hold somebody's life pretty much literally in my hands, but it's not the same as having to depend on someone to pass you a ball. That's proper teamwork, that's proper relying on each other. I do climb, and I don't climb well. All the things I like doing, I'm not very good at, like shaving. Despite that, when I go there, I'll go with maybe one friend at a time, but we'll always meet people there. And they're always happy to help us out, to give us some tips, give us some advice. They're much better than us. When they're not against us, we're not hampering them in any way. We're going to have a bit of a climb, they're going to stop, they're going to try a different route, maybe a harder route on the same one. Sometimes they'll do the same route that I've just been doing, but showing me maybe how I should be doing it, and apparently how I should be doing it is normally contorting my body in some sort of ridiculous way that can't possibly be done, but yet somehow they can, and they're only in jeans, whereas I'm actually in shorts or something more appropriate to climbing. They're actually good at this. And that's demoralising in a different way, but it's the kind of demoralising which spurs you to be better, to improve yourself, if you will. This one also does blunt itself quite quickly, and hopefully it's not blunted itself too much. I'm going to have to stop again, because I'm about to do one half my face, and nobody wants half a face done. I do have my spare razor if needs be, and it will cut face if needs be. I've got a big old spot there that I'm not allowed to spot spots. There's nothing to stop me slicing the bastards off. Hopefully if I do this regularly, I'm going to get quicker at shaving. Hopefully the jump cuts, they won't take as long anyway. Jump cut, jump cut, jump cut. Supposedly, the way to do this is stretch the skin down. What I'm finding though, is that my skin is very heavily lubricated. I'm also finding that I'm not getting anything done at all on here. If you're going to get a razor, don't cheap out and spend 20 quid on one. Get a decent one. Now, I'm not sure what the price point is for a decent one. The really awkward bit is, if you go to a barber, a lot of them have like disposable straight razors. I want one of those. I don't know where they get those, how those happen, and how much they cost. I bet they're not that expensive. It's still a straight razor, so it's still good. And you can still sharpen it. I cannot emphasise enough how much this is not a masterclass in how to shave. I have never managed a close shave in my life with a regular safety razor or with an open blade. I think that's about as close as I'm going to get on that side. It's still wet on the outside, so same mission somewhat closer to being accomplished. If you want to get a properly decent shape, you've either got to go electric or you've got to go decent straight blade. Oh, hello. That is some nice cut I've got going on there. Now, in theory, you shouldn't cut yourself shaving with a straight razor unless you shave sideways or shave blunt. As we've determined, I am probably shaving blunt at the moment because I'm terrible at this. It's very much no longer warm. You can see there's a massive spot going on here. Of course, that's always the nice thing about having a beard. If you do want to pop a spot, it's underneath the beard. As far as you're concerned, nobody can see it. In all likelihood, everyone can see it. The opposite of when you have an erection in class. Ladies won't understand this necessarily. When you're little, I say little, when you're a teenager, you invariably end up getting erections in class. Invariably, a teacher calls you to come up to the board and try something out. In fact, South Park did an episode about it with Jimmy tries to do stand-up comedy and always get a boner. The weird little fact about that is nobody's actually looking. Nobody's noticing. And so you can go up and you've not got a problem. They will notice because you're going to be very self-conscious of it. You're going to be sort of bending over to try and make sure that nobody sees, and that's when you're going to give the game away. Now, if there's one thing that I've learned from sports is that you should not give the game away. But yeah, I definitely need a better razor. This was easier back when I had a shaved head. And back when I had a shaved head was like a couple of months ago. However many months this much hair is. Hello. That means I've been doing this for half an hour, which I think means it's about time to finish. It's been fun. If people do want me to do this again, let me know what you want me to talk about, and I'll talk about it. Unless it's not a good topic, in which case I probably won't. Not that being a good topic has been a problem for. But my camera's now about to turn itself off anyway, so was that a temperature gauge? Either way, that's about it. Goodbye.